观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看《洋厨房卖家秀》买家秀，我是刘烨。平时我们刷短视频的时候呢，经常会刷到一些网红的美食，像是网红脆皮年糕、网红烤猪蹄、网红柠檬鸡爪等等隔着手机屏幕，这个口水也是会流出来的。不过你也不用光羡慕了，今天在我们的卖家秀里就会教您几招做网红美食的技能，一起来学学吧。
Things are springing into action on the farm, so I've got us covered with some satisfying and easy Midwest staples. All these flavors together are at once comforting and cozy and bright, like my sweet carrot cake baked oatmeal.
Best breakfast.
And for dinner, my busy day Hotdish is ultra hearty with layers of salty French fries baked right on top. It's a chilly Midwest spring, so I thought I'd throw together a cozy breakfast for Nick and me to enjoy on the farm. I am making my carrot cake baked oatmeal, which is sweet and hearty, and if you close your eyes, you feel like you're eating cake. To get started, I'm grating my carrots. I am a fan of any breakfast that hides its veggies. So these will add really nice moisture, just keep that oatmeal alive. Okay, now with my skillet, I'm gonna toast up my oats and some pecans. I have 2.5 cups of rolled oats. Bernie must eat oatmeal at least once a day. It's that food that she loves no matter what. So if she's not really into the salad or whatever I've made for dinner, you can usually trust that she's gonna be eating some oatmeal that night. And that's how I was too growing up. If ever I didn't like something for dinner, my mom would make me oatmeal, and it was the most comforting. I'll also add 3/4 of a cup of chopped pecans. I'll stir these around and let them toast for a few minutes, just until they're fragrant. Next, I'm gonna add my spices. Every carrot cake needs loads of spices because it's actually a spice cake. I'll start with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger goes so well with carrots. Ginger and carrots, BFFs. And then a few passes of nutmeg for extra warmth. I'll stir this around and let the spices toast and come out of their hibernation, just like everything else around the farm since it's spring. Nick is about to be really busy with the farming season starting. I have so many shows that he hates that I'm about to watch. I cannot wait. All right, this is all toasty. I'll take it off the heat. I'll add 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar. I like using dark brown here for extra molassesy notes. And this is just the right amount of sugar to make this sweet and enjoyable, but not too much that you're gonna sugar crash halfway throughout the day. I'm gonna grab some golden raisins. 3/4 of a cup of these guys will disperse little bits of juicy sweetness throughout. Golden raisins are the best. They are far superior to the other raisins. No offense, other raisins. Oh my God, I hope I didn't just offend the other raisins. I'll toss in the carrots. Look at all these veggies going into breakfast. Basically a salad. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder to help it get fluffy. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt just to bring out all these flavors. That's it for my dry ingredients. I'll mix these to combine. It's kind of a full skillet, but I'll just be careful as I fold this all together. This is such a great 1 skillet dish. It's just a socially acceptable cake to have for breakfast. Next, I'll mix up my wet ingredients. I'll add some whole milk, crack in a few eggs, a splash of vanilla extract, and I'll whisk it up. I love how easy this is. I'll pour it over the mixture. And this is just gonna soak into the oats and make it soft and cake-like. Now, you can't have a cake without butter. I'm gonna pour over 4 tablespoons of melted butter. This will just make it extra rich. Okay, I'll stir this together. I'll sprinkle the top with a little dark brown sugar. And then there'll be some extra sweetness on top. Yum. Okay, but wait, that's not all. You've got to have cream cheese frosting with your carrot cake. I'm gonna make that right now. This is super simple, but it adds so much joy to the oatmeal and to my life. I'm starting with 6 ounces of softened cream cheese. I cannot resist the tanginess of cream cheese. 2 tablespoons of sugar, be just enough sweetness. And a little splash of vanilla. And that's it. I'll just mix it until it's creamy. Oh, I'm smelling that vanilla. I'll dollop this over the top. And this is gonna melt right down into the oatmeal and mingle and make it creamy and so good. I love how low maintenance this is because it gets the frosting before it's even baked. I feel like more cakes should be like that. Add it to the ideas list. Okay, that's it. I'll stick this in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes until it's slightly puffy. I'm very excited to eat this. It smells like cake in here. Oh, this is the most beautiful pan of oatmeal I've ever seen. I'll just package this up and then go surprise Nick. Hello.
Hey.
I brought you a second breakfast.
Second breakfast?
It is carrot cake baked oatmeal.
Oh my gosh.
Is it oatmeal? Let's find out.
It's in my mouth. Best breakfast. It's not even just the best second breakfast. It is the best breakfast.
Yes. Hi, Oli.
Ole!
You want some oatmeal? Are you ready for spring planting?
I'm ready.
Have those tractors like woken up out of their hibernation?
Well, they pressed snooze a few times, but...
Same. Farm life is starting to get busy around here, so I'm putting together a quick, easy, and delicious dinner that'll leave me more time to play with Bernie. For dessert, I'm making my Rocky Road Fudge, which is everything that a fudge should be. It's rich and chocolatey and broken up by dots of chewy marshmallow and plops of salty peanut butter. To get started, in my saucepan, I'm gonna combine 1.5 cups of sugar and 2/3 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. I'm using Dutch processed because it gives a darker color and a slightly more mellow flavor, but regular unsweetened cocoa powder will definitely work with this too. I'll measure out 2/3 of a cup of whole milk. We'll just make it that much richer. I'll whisk this together and heat it up until the sugar is melted and the mixture is smooth and glossy. If you're using a candy thermometer, you want the temperature to be at 220 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is inspired by the classic Rocky Road combination, chocolate, nuts, and marshmallow. I love all of those flavors and all those textures together, most importantly. And I remember when I was little going up to vacations in Wisconsin to cute little towns with cute little candy shops that would have rows and rows of different flavors of fudge. And they would have free samples. So I would just sample the day away, and I was literally as happy as a kid in a candy store. So this really brings me back. It's important not to rush this process because if you do, you could be left with granules of crystallized sugar, and you don't want that. You want it to be really smooth. This is really smooth and glossy. I can't see any granules of sugar anymore, so I'm gonna take it off the heat. And then I'll whisk in some vanilla for some nice flavor. And some kosher salt, which is really important because it helps balance out all the sweetness in this fudge. Right. Okay. Next, I'm gonna fold in 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter, which I love because the saltiness of the peanut butter kind of cuts the sweetness of the fudge. I'm gonna mix this in, but not fully. Oh, yeah. So just a couple of swirls, that's it. I'm gonna leave it be and let it cool now while I toast up 1/2 cup of walnuts. Rocky Road has gotta have nuts. And in this, it's gonna add that great crunchy texture. And also add some health. Walnuts are healthy. I'll let these get toasty for a few minutes. I wanna be able to smell that they're toasty. I'll fold the nuts into the fudge, along with 1 cup of mini marshmallows. Now, it's extra important that the fudge is no longer hot because I don't want the mini marshmallows to melt. I want them to stay intact to give you that, like, good, chewy texture throughout. And it looks really pretty, the contrast of the white marshmallow and the dark fudge. I'm not excited to eat this at all. I'll fold this together. It's gonna be really difficult letting this set up and firm because I want to eat it right now. This is just a dentist's dream. everything is mixed together, I've got an 8-inch square pan that I've lined with parchment so that the fudge doesn't stick, and I'll scrape this right in. It's so lovably rustic. I love all of the textures and the flavors going on here, and it's just gonna be that perfect sweet bite. The only thing that could possibly make this better is a good pinch of flaky salt on top for extra flavor and crunch. And then it's springtime, a few spring sprinkles. Because if it's not gonna look like spring out there, it can look like spring in my belly. Okay, looking good. I'll let this set completely and then slice into squares. Oh, baby. That is a good cross-section. Here I go. Oh, yeah. That is a texture party. There is no denying the convenience of a solid one-pot meal, especially during hectic times. Something that's flavorful and filling and impossible to mess up. So today, that is exactly what I'm making. It's my busy day hot dish, and it's meaty and hearty and covered in curly fries. Oh my good gosh, geez, it is incredible. I'm gonna start by melting 4 tablespoons of butter into my pot here. I'll add in 2 pounds of ground beef. I'll season it with a teaspoon of kosher salt. And I'll cook it over medium-high, breaking it up with my spoon until it's browned. Busy Day Hot Dish is well loved around this area. It's got a protein, some veggies, a cream soup to hold it all together. But then the defining feature of a Busy Day Hot Dish is that it's covered in French fries from the freezer aisle. Sometimes I feel like Busy Day Hot Dish gets a little bit lost in the shadows of the classic Tot Hot Dish, but I'm going to be using seasoned curly fries on this one, so Tots better watch their back. I love them both. I don't want to say one is better than the other, but this one's so good. While the beef finishes up browning, I'll chop up my veggies. I've got a red bell pepper. If you don't like red bell pepper, you could do carrots, onions, celery, anything. Just get the veggies in because this is about to get covered in cheese fries, so you gotta have something for balance. I've also got a few stalks of scallions, which will add nice freshness. Okay, I'll toss these in and let them get soft. I'm gonna reserve a few of the scallion greens to get sprinkled on at the end. These veggies are soft. I'm gonna add some corn for little bites of sweetness, and fresh or frozen would both work. And if it's frozen, it thaws pretty much immediately when it hits this dish. I'll stir this right in. I'm gonna season this with 2 teaspoons of paprika, which will add a little smoky heat. And some black pepper. These are some good smells. And all these flavors together are at once comforting and cozy and bright. I don't know how it works, it just does. Okay, this is looking and smelling good. I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour now. I'll stir this around and let the flour flavor cook off for a minute or 2. And the combination of the flour and the butter that I added at the beginning creates a roux, and that's gonna thicken up my chicken stock to create the creamy sauce that binds this hot dish together. Okay, I'm ready to add the stock. I'm gonna add 2.5 cups of low sodium chicken stock gradually as I stir so that the sauce can be extra smooth. And you can use homemade or store-bought stock here. This is looking saucy. I'll stir in 1/2 cup of heavy cream. And then a tablespoon of Dijon mustard will add the perfect hit of punchiness. This just got real. I'll sprinkle in some fresh parsley, dill, and thyme to really give this hot dish some herbiness. Oh yeah, it's bubbly and thick. I'm almost ready for my fries. Before I top, I want to taste to make sure that all the seasonings are where I want them to be. I don't know how it could even get better. Oh, wait, yes, I do. By covering it in fries. Curly fry texture is the best texture. That is the hill I would die on. I would eat curly fries over other shapes of fries any day. Look at this mountain of fries. And a lot of them are gonna overlap. So then you get all these different textures. There are the fries on the bottom that soak up the Hotdish mixture, and then the ones on top that get crispy. I'm very excited. Next, I'm gonna top it with cheese. And Swiss cheese goes beautifully with all of these brighter flavors. I love it. But any melty cheese will do. I'm just piling it on. I'm not holding back. I'm a good mom, right? That's it. I'm gonna stick this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 40 minutes until the fries are crispy and the cheese is melty. Look at those crispy, curly fries. I can't wait to dig into this. I'm gonna finish it with my reserve scallions. Oh, I have to taste it. It's meaty, it's cheesy, there are hidden veggies. This has everything going for it. It's exactly what I needed. It's almost time for dinner, and I want to embrace the spring weather that's hopefully headed our way. So I'm making my pea and bacon salad with a tangy French dressing. It's fresh and it's fun, and it's got butter lettuce, which is basically the velour pants of greens. To start, I've got 4 slices of bacon crisping up in my pan, and I'll transfer it to a wire rack so that any excess grease can drip off. And I'm gonna leave the bacon fat in my pan because I'm gonna use it to cook up my snap peas. Any salad that starts with crisping bacon is gonna be pretty good. I've got some snap peas here that I've sliced on a bias to expose their cute little peas on the inside, and I'll toss them into my pan just for a few minutes. I love the sweetness of snap peas. These look great. I'll season them with some salt, and I'll set them aside to cool while I make my French dressing. Any food with ketchup has my heart, and this dressing is no exception. It adds that perfect, tangy sweetness. I'm gonna start with half a cup, 1/3 of a cup of white wine vinegar. I'll brighten the place up even more. 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. I'll add that great zinginess. And then for a creamy element, half a cup of whole milk Greek yogurt. A tablespoon of sugar will be just the right amount of sweetness. A teaspoon of paprika for some smokiness. A chopped onion. And I'll season with salt. I'll blend until smooth. Oh yeah, that looks great. It's time to put the salad together. I've got my Parmesan cheese and some butter lettuce. I always feel so fancy when I get butter lettuce. I'm gonna chop up my bacon. This is a salad, what? To build, I'll start with my peas. The butter lettuce is like little cups to catch the toppings. A spring shower of bacon. I'll do my dressing next. Okay, I'll add some chopped parsley and fresh mint. And then finely grated Parmesan, we'll pull it all together. I like using my fine zester for Parmesan. Daintiest little curls that way.